makers, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you a full tutorial on how to knit this beanie. This is my newest pattern called the bubble knit beanie, and it gives off this really pretty texture, and I promise you it's a lot simpler than you think it is. So this is what the finished product's going to look like, and of course you can always add a pom-pom at the top, but this is the finished hat, and we're going to go ahead and jump into all the supplies that you're going to need. So first things first, you're going to need some yarn. I'm using a size 6 super bulky. I'm using Lion Brand's Hometown USA. This is in Aspen Tweed. I really love this yarn. It's super soft and squishy. And then for your needle, you're going to need a 10mm US 15, and we're using circular needles with a 16-inch cord, a stitch marker, mine's just different colored yarn, and then of course some scissors to cut off our. Before we get started, these are the stitches that you'll need to know to complete this pattern. You're going to need to know how to do the knit stitch, how to purl two together, and how to knit two together. And there will be a special stitch in this video which I will show you, and it's called knit one below. The hat that we're going to be making is going to be an adult size, and to start we are going to cast on 36 stitches using the long tail cast on method. So let's go ahead and get started with that. And what I like to do for the long tail cast on is I wrap my yarn around my needle as many times as the cast on required. So I'd wrap it around 36 times like this, and then I'd let it all go, and that's how I know where to begin my first slip stitch. So let's go ahead and do our 36 stitches. Alright, once you have casted on all 36 stitches, you're going to grab your stitch marker, or like me, your fancy different colored yarn, and you're going to slip that onto your right needle. And we're going to be doing knit one, purl one ribbing. So we're going to start off by knit one, then we're going to purl the next, and we're just going to keep doing that. So knit, purl, we're just going to keep doing that all around to create our ribbing. We've made it to the end and found our stitch marker again, and you should be ending on a purl. And we're going to slide that stitch marker over, and we're actually going to be doing 4 more rounds. So we're going to be doing knit, purl all around for 4 more rows to create this ribbing on our band of our hat. So we just did our first round, so we're going to go ahead and do 4 more rounds of this. So you're going to start with a knit, and then we're going to do a purl, and then a knit. And you're just going to keep following that knit, purl around. So everywhere that you have a purl, you're going to be doing a purl. Each place that you have a knit, you're going to be doing a knit. And we're going to repeat that for the next 4 rounds. I'll meet you back when we're finished. Alright, and we have finished our band, so we should have 5 rounds of the ribbing, so knit one, purl one. And a good thing to do to make sure that you have all 5 is to go back and count. And I like to use this part right here because you can really see the little arrows, what they look like to me. So start at the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have 5 rounds total. And now we're going to start on the body of the hat. And just to start with the first round for the body, we're just going to put a knit stitch in every single stitch here. So we're just going to knit all the way around until we come back to our stitch marker, and then we'll continue with round 2. Alright, we finished our first round of the body, which is just a knit stitch all the way around. And the second round is going to be just as easy. We're going to be doing a purl. So we're going to do a purl stitch all the way around until we come back to our stitch marker. And now that we're done with round 2, you can see that this is our purl round because we can see all of our bumps. And in our third round, we're going to be doing something a little different. So we're going to knit our first stitch. And then in our second stitch, we're going to be doing that knit one below. And if you don't know how to do that, I'm going to take this slow and give you a little tutorial on how to do that stitch. So it's called knit one below. So we are going to be knitting a knit stitch, but it's just gonna be in a different placement. So usually we go here, right? For a knit one below, we're gonna go right under this bump in this opening. So it's right here where my finger is. We're gonna insert our right needle into that opening, and we're gonna knit as normal, and then we're gonna slide this loop off of our left needle, and that's how it'll look when you take it off. So for our next one, we're going to knit normally, and then again we're going to do a knit one below. So right under this bump, we're going to insert our needle, knit as normal, and then take this loop off our needle, and you're going to keep following that. So you're going to knit one, and then knit one below, and we're going to do that all the way around until we go to our stitch marker. So knit one below. And here we have finished our third round, and as you can see, you can start seeing the little bumps happening. So this texture, you can see it starting to form. And for our fourth row, we are going to purl in every stitch. So we're just going to purl all the way around until our stitch marker. We are now on to our fifth round. In this round, we're also going to be doing the knit one below, but it's going to be in a different sequence. So to start this round, we're actually going to knit one below in the very first stitch. So we're going to take our needle and insert it below and do our knit one below first, and then we're going to knit one regular in the next stitch, and then again we're just going to go back and forth. So knit one below, knit one below. So the only difference between this one and the other round that we did this in is we're going to start with a knit one below first. So we're going to alternate. So we're going to go ahead and keep doing that, knit one below and knit all the way around until we get to our stitch marker. Alright guys, we've now successfully completed the 4 rows that we're going to be on repeat until we reach the end of our hat. So I'm going to place a graph here to keep you on track, to let you know what you should be doing for each row. So feel free to go ahead and pause this video so you can take a look at the graph. And you should have just finished round 30, and we're going to go ahead and get started on round 31, which will be our decrease round. It is going to be purling 2 together. So we're going to do decrease this whole round. So what we're going to do is, purl wise, we are going to purl 2 together. So get 2 loops on under your needle and wrap it around for purl and complete the purl stitch. And you're going to do that for all the stitches around. So you're going to be decreasing all the way around, so purling 2 together until we reach our stitch marker. Also to note, I am going to be using the magic loop method for my decreases, so I don't have to switch to double pointed needles. I much prefer this method. So this is where part of your needle and your cord is coming out to the side to accommodate for the less stitches that you're going to be having on your needles. So I use the magic loop. If you have double pointed needles and you prefer that method, feel free to do that. I'm going to do a final round of the knit one below, and at this point you should now have 18 stitches on your needles. And again, you can see I'm using the magic loop method here. So to start, we're going to knit 1, and then next knit 1 below. And because we decreased, it can be a little harder to find where you need to put your needle. It's not as obvious as it was before, but it is, again, right under this knot. We're going to put our needle right underneath it, and it's going to be a little tighter squeeze just because of the decrease. And we're going to do that as normal, and we're going to keep doing that, knit 1 below, until we get to our stitch marker. We've now made it to our last round, and as you can see, things are getting a little tight here at the top. And what we're going to do to finish off is just knit 2 together all the way around, so that we have a total of 9 stitches. So you're just going to, on the first 2, put them together and knit. We're going to knit 2 together all the way around, and we should be left with 9 stitches. If you use Hometown USA yarn, you only have this much yarn left, so it's perfect amount for this beanie. You're going to cut it off till you have about 8 to 10 inches for a tail, and you can use a yarn needle. I like to use my fingers when I'm using bulky yarn and big needles just because it goes by a little quicker. I just take it and loop it a little bit like this, and I pull it through the stitch on my needle, pull the tail through, and then I just slip my loop off to tie it off, and I just do that all the way around until all the stitches left on my needles are on my tail, and then I will cinch it shut and we will close the hat up. Alright guys, you did it! Congratulations, you finished your own bubble beanie. I hope you enjoyed the pattern and this tutorial. If you'd love to see more tutorials like this, hit the subscribe button, and if you enjoyed this video, give me a big thumbs up if you would. Alright guys, I will catch you on my next one. Happy crafting!